Hi, this is John Kuntz, and this recording is how to do empathy mapping using MURAL and the template that we built for our Scale by Design program. So what you see on the screen right now is the overall MURAL template just for empathy mapping. And as a quick review of empathy mapping, if you remember our double diamond approach that we've talked about. So we are starting the first step from looking at our challenge statement and our ecosystem and starting to do a divergent activity, which is where we start to observe before we begin to converge. And as a quick review, an empathy map is really pretty simple. It's got 4 quadrants. You look at a persona and you give that persona a name. You try to identify and capture what that persona says, thinks, does, and feels. Another way to look at it is the left side of the empathy mapping. The says and does are things that you can implicitly observe. Whereby the right side, the think and feel, is things that you might need to infer. Okay, so here is the general layout of the template. We have a little bit of introduction, the typical time that is taken. We usually recommend 15 to 30 minutes per persona, depending on how long you might do the playback. A little bit of why we do the empathy mapping activity, and a little bit of just remembering of what we're really trying to do. The key piece of empathy mapping is that we're focusing on personas. Personas don't necessarily represent users, they represent the user's goals. And then just a little picture of an empathy map that would have been done if we had done this in a manual process. First, we set up the activity. And we've done that for you. So we create basically a chart with a circle in the middle and 4 quadrants with the 4 sections. Next, we like to divide into teams. Each empathy map, like I said, takes about 30 minutes to capture, observe, find the patterns, and play it back. So if you've got a group, you can break into multiple teams and you can accomplish 2 empathy maps, if you will, in that 30-minute capture. The next thing is everybody records what they know about that user or stakeholder. The key is that we are not our users or our stakeholders, but most of us know something about them. So the idea is to use 1 virtual sticky note per observation and place it in the appropriate quadrant of the map. Just don't get too hung up on which quadrant of the map it goes into. It's important, but it's not that important. The key important thing is to get down the observation. With that, you'll probably start to see some patterns, which is pretty common. You can circle them. You can begin to move the virtual sticky notes around the mural, and by using the shift and select stickies and pull them all together and then start to group them. And the last thing you do is play back and discuss. So we like to have 1 person on the team play back each empathy map, 3 to 4 minutes, and just give everybody a chance to look at it, update it, ask questions, etc. So that's it. That's empathy mapping using the Disruptor's MURAL template for Scale by Design.